Hey friends, it's Missy again. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm here with a new layout for the Hip Kit Club, and I'm using the 2019 February kits again. And I went ahead and picked out some of the things that I wanted to use on my page. Some of the Project Life cards with those really pretty bright florals on there, this light aqua blue color, and then this one that says love makes everything better. I wanted to incorporate that onto my page. And I'm going to use a lot of this brightly colored Pink Fresh Studio paper from Joyful Day and that black and white striped paper from Cartabella because I wanted to add some pops of black. I like how that looks mixed with all of these bright colors. And so I resized one of the freebie cut files for this month and just cut a bunch of little hearts on that Pink Fresh Studio paper, and I just wanted some bright colors, and I wanted to incorporate all of the colors that are in that paper because they match the Project Life cards. And that's what I love about the exclusive Project Life cards each month, is they are custom made to match all of the papers. And so this floral here just screamed at me to fussy cut it out. And so this did take me a little bit of time because there are a lot of little bits and pieces, but I got it cut out, and I kind of wanted to do a photo on the left and that Project Life card on the right with the floral down below. And so I'm using, surprise, surprise, another selfie of me and one of my daughters. And I love this one because she's giving me a kiss. And yeah, anytime she's in the mood to play kissy kissy, I'm going to grab my camera and try to get pictures of it because it's the sweetest thing ever. And these are from a few years ago, and I have a ton of selfies. Probably you already knew that because I scrap them all the time, but I never get sick of taking them, and I just love how they always turn out. And so anyway, I'm gonna layer a couple of those Project Life cards behind my photo there, and I'm using my edge distresser to kind of ruffle up the edges just to make them look a little bit worn and torn. And then I'm gonna put that floral cluster kind of right there where you see it, and I'm just gonna build my layout around that. Since my photo is pretty much the same size as a Project Life card, I thought I would make a cool title to use that card because it just sort of looks good there, and I think it contrasts the black and white photo, and both of them stand out against all of these colors. So I thought what I would do is sort of place the photo and the card toward the bottom half of a page, or of the page, like this, and then have those hearts sort of coming out of the top like you just saw me playing around with it there. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and use some white cardstock. I know I've been using white cardstock a lot. I think last week I used a pattern paper, but white cardstock is my go-to if I know I want to create a colorful background. And so that's what I'm going to do here. And I just coated the whole thing, almost the whole thing, with clear gesso to prep the page. And then I pulled out that pink, gorgeous pink Opal Magic paint that we get in the color kit this month. And I'm probably using it in a totally different way that it's intended for. But I just brushed a little bit onto my little acrylic stamping block, sprayed a little bit of water on it, turned it over, and you see what I'm doing here. I'm just smushing it down with the block and kind of spreading and smudging the water and the paint just to kind of create, I just want a lot of soft pink in the background behind all of those hearts. And I don't want it to look nice and neat. I want it to look kind of splotchy and messy. And so this is just another alternative to using a brush or to using the packaging, the plastic packaging that we all love so much. This little acrylic stamping block has been through quite a lot. It's quite stained and old. I've used it for so many stamping projects, but also for this technique right here. You can just see it gives a different look. And I just keep moving it around and smushing it until most of the paint is off of it, and it just creates a different look. And you can also see where I scraped the gesso on. You can see those lines. I think that looks cool. I always think that looks neat because you can, it just adds to the texture of the background. And if you're looking for a messy textured background, then I think that looks cool. And it doesn't always show up. I think it depends on what I'm using and what kind of technique I do and how it dries. It's different every time. So I also pulled out some of the Prima Color Bloom spray, the pink one that we got in last month's kit, and then a pink shimmers that we got a while ago in a color kit. This is the yellow shimmers. No, that's not shimmers. Yellow Prima Color Bloom from last month. And then I'm going to mix the teal Opal Magic from this month with a little bit of the Deep Blue Sea Shimmers that we got a few months ago. There's so many different products in the color kits, I'm mixing them all up. But I know I've said this a million times, but the color kits are a great investment if you love doing mixed media, because they always tend to coordinate with following kits. And so each month you can go back and use what you got in a color kit 6 months ago, and chances are it's one of the colors is going to match what you're using this month. And so if you order it each month, you are going to wind up with a big arsenal of colors and different types of paint. But you can see here how pretty this looks. I love the background. I think that turned out really cool. I also did some machine stitching in a periwinkle color, that really pretty blue, around the edge of that Project Life card. But yeah, what I was saying, the color kits are great because they last a while and you can just continue to use them from month to month. So now all I'm going to do is continue to work on layering and building the layout. I'm going to cut that black and white, what's that shape? I don't know what this shape is. It was really popular years ago, but it's like not a parentheses. I can't think of the shape of it. Oh, it's going to drive me nuts. Anyway, I cut it in half, and I'm going to use, actually, I'm going to wind up using both pieces. I just haven't put the other piece over, but I want a pop of black around the edges of the bottom area, and then I'm just going to play with the hearts and kind of explode them out of the top. But once I put everything down, I realized that I needed some more pink, and so you know me, I have to keep going on the background. I'm never fully satisfied with it because mixed media backgrounds are addicting and it's hard to know when to stop. And so in order to see what you've got to, get to a point where you do stop and then put everything back on top of the background, see how it looks. And then if it's not enough, you can remove it just like I did there and then go back and add some more. And that's why I never just glue things down right away when I'm making a background, because chances are the first go round is not going to be enough and I'm going to have to remove everything and add more. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times I have to go back and do stuff to it. So some things I can glue down, like my layers or, certain little bits like that. But actually gluing it to the background, I want to make sure the background is done first. So I love how this is looking. I love all of those hearts. I'm going to overlap some of them. I really want to use one of these shaker hearts. Those are adorable. Those are from Crate Paper. And yeah, I'm going to use that one that says I love you. And I'm going to go through a lot of the Pink Fresh Studio Joyful Day embellishments. There's a little fabric banner set. I'm going to use that green one that says Happy Place because I like the pop of that color right there. And then I also went through the die cuts. And I'm going to use that little tab above the picture that says Memories. And here's where I'm going to start to glue things down. I do decide to use both halves of that little black and white check that I still can't remember the name of that shape. A bracket? Is it bracket? Is that what it is? I remember years ago I had so many, almost 12 by 12. It was like a pattern paper, but it was in the shape of that bracket. Oh gosh, what was the brand? Do you guys remember those papers? That shape was all the rage years ago. It seems like not long after I started scrapping, back in like 2006, 2007. That shape was very, very popular. So now I'm going to glue down most everything. I'm going to glue down all of those hearts. I'm going to glue down the banner. I did add some foam behind the photo to make it stand up a little bit more. And then here's where I thought I need some black up in the upper part of this layout. And so I just took my black pen. That's the Sharpie that I use for journaling. It's a fine tip Sharpie. And I'm just going to kind of trace around some of the edges. And this is going to start to bring little pops of black up into the top half of the page. But I don't feel like that's enough. I still got all of the dark elements in the bottom half of the page, and so I'm going to work on that as I go. I did pull in some black thread down at the bottom, and I really like how that looks. It just gives a little bit of texture and messiness to the background. Since most of the mixed media is in the top half, most of the bottom half is going to remain white, and I know that's rare for me because I don't really leave things white a lot. These are the puffy stickers from Pink Fresh Studio Joyful Day, and there are lots of little hearts on there, so I'm going to add in a couple of those, as well as one of those stickers from Crate Paper. And I'm just going to keep playing around. I really wanted to use one of these wood veneer buttons, but I just couldn't make the circle shape kind of fit in, because I don't have any circles anywhere else on the layout. Except for these enamel dots, but they're small and tiny, and I was mainly using those for pops of green, but I didn't want to add a new shape. I know I've got flowers at the bottom, but the majority of this layout is hearts, and so I didn't want to introduce circles and just have one circle, if that makes sense. Also going to play around with the cardstock stickers from Pink Fresh Studio. I do decide to add a little bit of black thread over on the right underneath that shaker pocket, or not shaker pocket, shaker heart, and some over to the left, just a little bit, not too much, just for a pop of texture and black. And this is a little, one of the periwinkle-ish blue colors of a sticker that says, "Oh Happy Day." I'm just going to continue to look at the embellishments here. This is a circle. Well, you know what? I just lied to you. That was a circle that I just used. However, I tucked it underneath for just a pop of yellow. You can't even tell that it's a circle. It just looks like another flower that's blended in down there at the bottom. And it said coffee time. I don't even drink coffee, so there's a 99.9% chance I'm never going to use a sticker that says anything about coffee. So I felt like I would just use it as a pop of yellow. Okay, so here's where I go to add in some more black. I pull in some black ink. This is a Shimmers from my stash, not in the color kits, but it's just your basic black. Did some splattering, and then I decided I wanted to add a little bit more black, so I pulled out that black and white striped paper that I had in the beginning that I've already cut into, and my Martha Stewart punch. It's got all those little confetti hearts, and I'm just going to punch a couple of really small black hearts and kind of scatter them around in between all those big hearts too. And this is going to bring in a little bit more black up to the top. And I felt like that's just what it needed, because I've got a lot of black in the bottom and I wanted to echo that up in the top. But anyway, there's the final layout. I did add the date, and yeah, I hope you guys like it. I had fun making it. I love these colors. Yeah, I was really inspired by that paper with all of those little different color squares and that Project Life card that says love makes everything better. And the idea just kind of came from there. And then once I fussy cut out those flowers, the rest was history. So anyway, I hope you give some of these techniques a try, or, you know, I get a lot of questions about lifting ideas or recreating layouts. I am perfectly cool with that. Go for it. I fully support that. So let me know if you have any questions about any of the kits or the techniques or products or anything at all. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great week.